Alright, what's up everybody? This is like the 5th time I've tried to do this and I'm getting a little tired of doing it, so I'm going to do it one more time. Alright, this is for Mike Norman. He has some questions about making roofs for some European style buildings, Flames of War 15mm. My suggestion was clay tile roofs. It's pretty much, in my opinion, that's what I see the most of looking at reference pictures are clay tile, round clay tile. And one technique to do that is take the smallest corrugation or however you say it on your side of the planet, excuse my red thumb, and peel one side of it off and sandpaper. You gotta find one of these sanding blocks, pretty cheap, and then you just sand this shitty paper off of here. It doesn't take much. Boom, and it's clean. And then you cut, you kind of score, not all the way through, the tiles like that, and it looks like some nice clay tile, rounded clay tile. Or if you want to go a step further, peel both sides off the cardboard and just get this. It's really flimsy and useless unless you glue it to something a little more stable, and cut the strips, each strip out of that, and then glue them to something, something solid, overlap them like that, and bada bing, 15mm clay tile roof. That's what I was talking about. That's the technique that I would go with, and I think that would work just fine for you. And you had a few other questions that I'm going to answer right now. I've got to bring them up because I'm not prepared. I just remembered that you asked me some questions in the comments in my messages. And it says, how do you do your windows and frames? Just print and cut? Yes, that's absolutely correct. I draw them on Microsoft Paint. I print them out onto some kind of hard card, not cardboard, but just hard card, kind of cereal box if you can't find anything else. But yeah, just glue it onto that, cut it out really carefully with a aluminum ruler. This is one of my favorite ones. And sometimes when you're cutting small pieces, the ruler tends to slide around on you, and so I got this with a cork back, and it keeps things down a little sturdy, but it does raise the ruler off the table a little bit, and that can screw up your straight cuts. And that's just about it. Yeah, I just draw them out and paint. And then your other question is goop. Do you put goop on the wall bricks as well as the corner ones? Yes, that is a yes. I don't have any kind of special recipe for goop, but on all the bricks, that's, after you get them punched out and textured and everything, you just coat them with watered down glue. Or I found this stuff called Magic Coat, made by Deco Art, who makes a lot of like the crappy Walmart brands. You could probably find this stuff at Walmart. It's for coating styrofoam. And then look at the stupid picture. It just has some little styrofoam ball that's been kind of carved out of foam, and then they coat it with this stuff, and it makes it hard. You can actually sand this stuff. It's pretty cool. But that's what I coat on the bricks. That's, you don't have to do that, but glue or even watered down plaster works pretty cool. Just whatever you want, just to kind of, make it a little more sturdy. I think you had one more question for me. Foam board. How do you keep your edges square when making long cuts in foam board? Practice and a really sharp blade. Don't even attempt to cut a straight piece of foam board without a good hobby blade. This is a really old school. My hobby knives are older than I am. They're awesome. But yeah, you gotta have a good sharp knife and a metal ruler, and practice. Some people say hold your breath when you're making the cut. Or one thing I tried for a while was while I'm looking at the cut, while I'm making the cut itself, I'm not looking where my blade is, but I keep my eyes about an inch ahead of my blade. And I'm looking at what I'm doing, but I'm not looking at the blade itself. I'm looking ahead of the blade. I don't know why. And it seems to help. It seems to help keep the blade straight this way and not go, you know, to the side either way. That's kind of a trick. So there you go. I hope those made sense to you. Yeah. Thanks for the questions, and good luck